when we first spoke about this, we said that the problem with people going out and starting their own business, especially if they're moving from a position where they've been employed or they've come out of university or college, is you could give them all the practical application in the world. If they've not got it up there, if their mind isn't in the right place, there's no way they're going to make their business a success, right? Which is why we've combined the mindset, the motivation, the inspiration, and teaching the laws, and combining it with sound business advice. Sounds very boring on the surface, but actually, if you can combine those and get that bit right, you've got a very good chance of succeeding. Because there's, like in life, you follow the laws, you will succeed. In business, if you follow basic business principles, which a lot of people fail to do, then you will be a success. It just takes time, effort, and energy. Okay? So my name is Sam Payne, and I'm here today to show you how to set up and run a successful business. Now, for me, it hasn't always been this way. I mean, I'm the pre-pubescent skinny dude standing there, okay, and I spent the first, 7 years of my real working life. I mean, I spent a couple of years doing some really rubbish stuff, but from then I spent 7 years in the military, running up and down hills, thrashing people on paracourses, jumping out of planes, just having a great time. And at no point for the first 5 years of that did I consider doing another job. I loved what I was doing, but then it hit me that there should be more to life than this. I was still being very reactive to everything. I was never in control of my own life, which was the reason I wanted to set up my own business. And if you can relate to that, that's good. This is why I'm telling you this story, because if you can relate to you're not in control at the minute, then there is a way you can get out of that, okay? So for me, I loved the fitness industry, okay? I loved fitness. I trained people for 6 years of my 7 years within the realms of fitness, which is what I wanted to do for myself. So I got out of the army, and it all started where most people start. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the fitness side of things, because this is my start, but this applies to everybody, okay? It can apply to any niche or industry, and it has done since, okay? But I've done everything, working my butt off basically, in snow, rain, sleet or sun, for a fiver a head, and just not getting very far. Just thinking about doing, and not applying real business principles, which is why for a long time I didn't get anywhere, yeah? But after a while, people were saying to me, Sam, we want more, we want more. So I went through a very hard transition where I had to juggle 3 or 4 jobs, like door jobs, courier work jobs, and eventually, with capital I had from the time in the military as well, I opened up my first gym. Now, this was a very exciting time for me, okay? It was a small gym, I was a one-man band, I'd done everything myself, and like everyone going into entrepreneurship or starting their own business, I felt I could do everything. I literally opened the doors and said, I'm going to be open 24/7, I'm going to take all the classes, I'm going to help so many people, and I've discovered that I was working in my business. Things were good, I was enjoying it for a short time, but like with anything, there's a honeymoon period, and after a couple of months, that very quickly wore thin with me, okay? I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. I was coaching 50 hours a week. I'd done every job you could imagine to keep the place open, all the accounts, absolutely everything that was involved in running it. And I was doing 80, 90-hour weeks, 7 days a week. And it got to a point where financially, I wasn't progressing because I was tired. I wasn't sleeping properly, I was under a lot of stress. My relationship with my wife was suffering. And just when you think, God, I need a break, I had to leave that premises. The council, I broke the sound clause in my planning agreement, and the council said, you've got to go. You've got to shut the doors in this certain place. And that left me with a very difficult situation. I was 18 months in, 65 grand was invested into that business, a lot of time, blood, sweat and tears, and the council said, you've got to move. Now, long story short, the council are very difficult to deal with. Okay, I'm not here to slag off the council, but they have a nightmare. And it got to a point where I wasn't going to be able to go anywhere else because of the planning restraints that were put against moving into another business. So I went to the drawing board and I thought, well, what can I do? I brought on board a business partner. He helped with the capital to fund the move. And after a long, arduous process, which I'm not here for a pity party, but it put me in hospital. I was having severe panic attacks. Again, my relationship was getting worse. A lot of stuff was going wrong. And at that point, I could have gone, sorry, I'm going back to a normal job, or decide to carry on. thankfully we carried on, okay, because we stuck with it. And now this gym is actually on that estate, it's the other side of that wall. It's one of the best training facilities in the south of the UK. We're in the process of opening up another gym, okay, and that business is now completely passive for me. I work 3 to 6 hours a week in that gym. I've got a great guy, a business partner, Mike. He manages the whole operation. He manages my team of coaches. I've got 5 coaches working there, accountants, cleaners, blah, blah, blah. But that is completely passive for me, okay? So my gym is open now, and I'm earning money from that gym, yeah? And that's the beauty of putting these systems in place. And this is what I've learned over the last 5 years, and what I now want to teach people to do. It's not about owning a business and working in your business. It's about earning a business that's going to give you a revenue stream, yeah? But in return for that revenue stream, I'm benefiting a lot of people, yeah? On top of that, because I've now freed up my time, I'm able to concentrate on other things. We've got large-scale competitions. I'm not selling my gym or competitions here, by the way. I'm just giving you an example of how you can make things progress, right? So we've got large-scale competitions, one which is running next month, 260 athletes, 1,000 spectators, huge venue. We've got 6 more booked next year. I've just started an events company to facilitate this. So by freeing up my time and removing myself from the general day-to-day runnings of the business, I can expand and grow that business. And again, this is passive. This earns me money while I'm doing other things. So my phone will be pinging. I've been with Greg in meetings, and my phone is pinging. That's money. People booking onto my events. And I know I'm working on another business whilst making money in a previous business. And this is the beautiful thing. These don't earn me millions, but I do all right. But I will do very well from them. The compound effect will take over. Over time, these will continue growing and growing and growing and growing to the point in 5 years' time, I could hopefully put my feet up and just earn revenue from my businesses. Yeah, this is what we want to do. This is the mission, right? This is very important, and I wanted to cover this because when you're going through a point, you can see things are changing with me now. I'm getting a bit passionate about this. When you're going through a point of you're in hospitals and things aren't going well, you need a very passionate reason for wanting to do this. Yeah, it could be Ferraris, it could be big houses, it could be whatever your motive is, whatever your driving reason. If it's a powerful enough reason, you will make it work. Yeah, I want to skip that bit because it does get a bit real. So, I knew what I wanted to do. I had no idea where to start. So these 4 questions are 4 questions which a lot of starting out entrepreneurs face. Am I the right person to set up a business? Who am I going to sell to? What's involved in setting up that business? How do I even get clients? Yeah, this is stuff which when you're going out and starting your own company, if you've started your own company, you will understand this. Yeah, you'll know where I'm coming from. Even when you're running companies, you'll still ask yourself these questions. Yeah, it's an ever-going process. But there's ways in which we can understand how to do this. Okay, I started asking myself these questions, and I realised actually it doesn't matter. I know what I want to do. I'll figure it out. So by setting up these programs, I'm hoping to take that figure out part away from anybody that wants our help, and I can just tell them exactly what needs to be done. This is why we set this program up, right? I'm not selling this to you. So we went on a treasure hunt, and I immersed myself in content. I do what everyone does. I looked at Google for my blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos, books. I'm a bit of a reading geek. I probably read about 1 to 2 books a week. I love reading. And I learned. But not only did I learn, I applied everything I learned along the way. And that really helped me progress. So it's not so much learning that matters, it's learning the right content and then applying it as you move. Okay? And that's what I've learned as a very big lesson when you're setting up a business. You need to make sure that whatever you're learning is relevant and you apply it along the way. So I'm sure, and you would agree with me, you all have that feeling where you learn something of value and you think, do you know what, that's awesome, I'm going to do that. And then 3 months down the line, nothing's happened. You've even forgot it, yeah? That's because you don't apply that knowledge, yeah? So, we call this 5 years of failing to success, okay? I've tripped up every which way you can imagine, wasted nearly £40,000 on stuff that didn't work, a lot of time. It's been a pretty gruesome journey if you map it out on a map. But actually, from every failure, it does become a success. You grow so much from every experience that next time you don't make that mistake. And what I've learned is by applying everything I've learned along the way, I can pick up what I've learned in the fitness industry and mould it to consultancy. I can mould it to events. I can mould it to whatever I want to do. Yeah? And it's evolved into this. In 5 years, I've set up 4 companies. I've got 4 sources of income now, which all make money for me. High Performance One, the one we're at now, okay, it's just kicked off, but this will bring in revenue. I've got no doubt. Okay. Samurai Events, that's the events company that hosts everything we do. My CrossFit gym, My Code is my online consultancy company. I've got a podcast and blog and everything else, and that's where I document everything I've learned about business. Yeah, so I've got everything I've taken and learned, I've put into packages, and I now sell to help other people. But the important thing about this, I'm not doing this to impress upon you, is to just inspire you to say that if I can do this, anybody can actually go out and learn this stuff. The reason I've managed to do it in 5 years, I invested heavily in mentors, coaches and consultants, okay? And now, my driving force behind all this has always been helping people and providing services. Money's never been my driver, okay? And because money's not my driver, money comes. If you chase money, you'll never get money, okay? And I've learned that the hard way. That's how we've set up systems and processes to draw income straight away, and we lost nearly 40 grand in the process. The second I forgot about money and concentrated on providing value, money started coming back. Yeah, very big lesson I learned there. So what I've created here is a business startup blueprint, a blueprint of 6 principles, which if you look at any multi-million-pound organisation, if you look at the guy just starting out, this is what it comes down to, these 6 points. It's about serving people, understanding their needs, and understanding how you can serve those needs. It's that simple, okay? So, we want to take everything online. There's 6 billion people in the world, and they're all at your fingertips. One click of a button and you've accessed 6 billion people. So there are over 1.2 billion active businesses online to date. If your business has not got an online presence, it will eventually get left behind. Even your local baker and flower shop now needs an online presence. Whenever you look for something, if you want to go to a flower, say you're visiting someone in Norwich and you want to pick up flowers in Norwich, where do you go? Google. You type flower shop Norwich, yeah? The top one that comes up, you're going to click on that first one, you're then going to go to that shop or you're going to order from them, yeah? That's a local business accessing people from an external location, yeah? That's the power of online businesses. So, the internet has provided the perfect stage for businesses to thrive and help more people than ever from every corner of the globe. If you don't know how to set this up properly, you won't reach these people, you'll get lost. Yeah, you'll get lost. And when it comes to online sales and services, people tend to forget to be people. So if we was just about to walk into a shop, and say if Amy owned a shop, or she walked into my shop, sorry, and I was selling clickers. The second she walked in, I would go, buy this clicker's got this much blah, 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 you want to buy this clicker. Because that's what you see on the internet, right, all these ads. Instead, you'd go, hi Amy, how are you doing? How can I help you? That's the first thing someone says to you when you walk in a shop. How can I help you? You're there to serve, right? So when we do online business, we have to build a relationship with people. We have to build trust. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And there's ways we can do that. There are ways we can do that. So this isn't about going into online marketing. This is about going into a basic principle you can walk away with today and start mapping out a business plan. Or if you're in business, you can map out how you can improve your services or services and products you want to sell. Okay? But bear in mind, even when we're talking about online business, we're talking about serving people, building relationships, building trust, and then asking. Yeah? Give, and then eventually you ask. But sometimes if you give enough, you don't have to ask. I ask you. Yeah? One very powerful question. Now, Greg mentioned on my very good friend of mine, from yesterday, he's in his early 30s, said, Sam, I've got bowel cancer. Shit. One word for that. You cannot dress that up, you cannot live that down. So are you just living life? Are you living life or just paying bills until you die?
Hell no.
Yeah? In his early 30s, and he is a very strong guy, he said, Sam, do you know what? I'm going to be out of action for a couple of days, but after I've had me up, I'll come back in, we can start working on shit again. Brilliant, fantastic, right? That's the attitude you need to have. But if you are just living life, if you are just paying bills and living month to month, which 97% of this population are doing, you will die. And you will die miserable, broke, and you will pass on your debt to everybody that's in your family. Facts. Yeah? No getting around it. So what we're all about doing is setting up a life of freedom. Yeah? This is what we want, control and freedom over our life. We can do this by applying these 6 principles to any business. So, you may have an idea, how to formulate an idea. Who's got an idea in this room of a business they'd like to set up? Someone must have an idea of something they'd like, yeah. So could you do my sharing?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm moving to New Zealand next year.
Perfect.
Hoping to start up, eventually open a gym which is attached to a soft play.
Perfect.
And a little cafe. And
that sounds awesome. I could do with that over there actually. So, yeah, I've got your first customer. So when you've had this idea, I'm sure that a million thoughts come into your head at once. Yeah, you think all this stuff comes into your head. Literally, as I'm clicking, that's a thought. It happens that quickly, right? So when this happens, we need you to brain dump. Spend 10 to 15 minutes, right, however long it takes, but at least 10 to 15 minutes. This is the first point you need to do as well, okay? This works with everything I do, whether I've got a product, a service, or a business I'm thinking of launching. I turn off my phone, computers, I shut the door, I sit in silence, I have a sheet of paper in front of me or a whiteboard, and I dump. Okay, I literally let everything out on the board. Yeah, that idea is out there, I've got to put it in front of me, because you can't see it when it's in here. If you've got all this information, you've got to put it somewhere, so you can at least try and make some sense of it, right? So, this is just a general idea. You don't have to be specific at this point, okay? Even if you think it's insignificant, don't worry, put it down, everything matters. And look at the whole picture, okay? But don't look at the whole picture as you go, because then you'll try and rationalise certain points of it. Just let it loose. And then when you think, I literally can't think of nothing else, that's when you're done. Yeah, you're like, I think that's everything, right? So, you look at everything. Then you need to ask yourself a few questions, okay? Why do you want to do it? Who else do you feel will like this? What type of things do I want to offer? Is there anything out there like it? Will doing this make me happy? Very important. You're going to have to put a lot of time and energy into this. It needs to make you happy. Is it ethical, legal and moral? Very important. A lot of drug dealers out there started the same way we are today. And they're out there selling drugs and telling, yeah, I'm going to be a drug dealer, I'm going to serve this people, this corner. It's the same. It all matters, it's all the same, right? Make sure it's legal. Don't ask how. At this point, don't ask how this is going to happen. You don't know, yeah? When I wanted to set up my gyms, when I wanted to move on to consultancy, when we talked about doing this, when I talked about doing this talk, I didn't ask, well, how am I going to do that? I knew I wanted to do it, I just worked it out, right? At this point, and I'm going to take this straight from Les Brown's book, just say it's possible. It is possible that I can do this. Yeah, very powerful word. You always get that voice of doubt. Yeah, tell it to shut up. It is possible I can do this. Now we've got to go into a process of finding out how we're going to do this. Yeah. So, the next point: how to dominate your potential industry. Your aim is not to match someone. So if you're going into the sprinting world and you want to be a 200 metre sprinter or 100 metre sprinter, and you say, okay, had a brain fart, Jamaican geezer, very good, very quick. Usain Bolt, yeah. So say you look at Usain Bolt, you don't look at Usain Bolt and go, I want to be like him. You go, I want to beat him. I want to be better than him. Yeah, you don't go into a game to be second. So when we go into our industry, you want to make sure you're aware of the top players, the A-game players, because they're the people that are killing it and making the money. And you don't just want to say, how can I be like them? You want to see, how can I be better than them? Yeah? So we want to do 3 steps to market research. Who is already out there doing the same as this? What are they offering and how are they doing it so well? How can you be different? But more important, offer more value. The more value you offer, the more money you make. Yeah, because you're helping more people. So, who is already out there doing the same as this? What are they offering and how are they doing it so well? How can I be different and offer more value? You can find these people everywhere, okay? These slides, by the way, you're going to get a link about 12:05. You'll get an email if I've done my work right, and it's going to give you a link to a 10-step business foundation course, free course, and all this information is mapped out in PowerPoint. You can download all the presentations and everything. Okay, so I'll speed things up a little bit. What are they doing? So look at the types of blogs they're writing, look at the content they're creating, how active they are on social media, how long have they been around, what's their story, people buy from people they like, trust and know. People relate to people, they don't relate to companies, they relate to people. Yeah? So what's their story? If they've got a powerful, that's why I told you my story. Yeah, so you can get a feel for me, you can understand that I know what I'm talking about now, and I've been there, so you can learn something, hopefully. And what products or services are they selling? Okay, look at how they're formulating products and services within the same industry as you. Big one, how can I offer more value? That's the underlying question you need to ask yourself. We're not here to rip people off. Sales isn't about ripping people off. Sales is about providing someone the answer to a solution. And if you're there to provide that answer to that solution, it's not a sell. You're helping them. Yeah? So you need to find out how you can better serve them, better help them. How to recognise your target market. We need to know exactly who you are selling to. This is the problem that a lot of starting out entrepreneurs have. They'll say, I want to sell beach balls with pictures of my face on it. But who actually wants to buy that? We need to find out this. Yeah, we need to find there's a market for your product. So we need to identify the person, okay, that we're selling to. We need to describe them. We need to understand them. Yeah? Identify. This is a person, a real person. Now you could look at a demographic and you could try and make someone as a general person within that demographic. We call this your avatar, okay? But whoever this is, you need to speak to a lot of people, you need to listen to a lot of conversations, you need to look in the right places, and you need to get an idea of who exactly is looking for this type of product. Just to fast forward, this is a very long thing, I don't expect to sit and read this and me stand here for 5 minutes, but this is an example of an avatar profile. Okay, John is 32, lives with his wife for 5 years and a 1-year-old daughter. John has an accounting job in the city and pays him a salary of £65,000 a year. John spends 3 hours every day commuting, leaves his house at 6 AM, does not return home until 9 PM. John is unhappy with work-life balance, wants to set up his own accounting firm. John has 1 hour a day where he can dedicate his own business and disposable income of £800 per month with an £18,000 in savings. John is cash rich but time poor. John does not have time to commit to learning everything he needs to know about setting up his own business, so he's seeking advice from consultants and mentors. John does, however, listen to business startup podcasts on his commute and reads for 20 minutes before bed. John does not see his daughter from Monday to Friday and only spends 1 hour every evening with his wife. John's motive for wanting to leave the city and get back control of his life and enjoy more time with his wife and daughter. John is part of many entrepreneurial groups on Facebook and listens to business podcasts. He also reads business publications, very rarely attends networking events at the weekends. John is looking for podcasts, books, online business resources, consultants and mentors who can help him realise his dream of getting back control of his life. But see how detailed that is? I've said who he's married to, he's got a daughter, how long he commutes for, how long he dedicates to time with his wife. By understanding that he only has no time, but he has money. So now I can provide services where I can take time from him and he can pay me for that time now, yeah? John wants control of his life. So when I'm putting adverts out, do you want to get back control of your life? I'm speaking John's language. John's like, oh, yeah, I want to get back control of my life. And he'll read that advert. I'm speaking his language now, yeah? He wants more time with his family. Do you want to get back control of your life so you can spend more time with your family and enjoy the things you really want to do? Now I'm really speaking to John. Yeah, I'm speaking John's language. Loves podcasts, books and online forums. What am I going to advertise to him when I'm sending this ad out?
Download free podcasts.
Yeah? John has money to invest. Have you got money to invest but no time? I've got the perfect podcast which is going to outline exactly how you set up a business in 5 steps so you can spend more time with your family, do the things you do and get back control in your life. John is looking for more mentors and consultants. Same process. But you see how I've understood my audience, my market? I can speak their language when I'm advertising and approaching my market, right? How did I come up with John? I've done my research, listened to people's problems. It's amazing what you learn when you stop talking and listen. So, a big no-no, do not presume what your avatar wants and needs based on what you want to create. This is not about you, it's about John. Can we guess who John is? John's my avatar. Yeah, that's my own avatar that I use for my coder. So, when I've done this, it's all about shutting your mouth and opening your ears. Just listening to what people are saying, yeah? That's all, it's that simple. So when you've got this, you can understand their pain points, okay? You can understand exactly what their problems are. We know what John's problems are now, yeah? Get to the root cause of their problems. We don't want this to be a problem where, if I said to you, oh, do you know, it's such a pain in the arse taking rubbish out at night, isn't it? They go, yeah, it is. Then if I say, I've created a conveyor belt which runs from your back door to your gate, and all you've got to do is put your thing on it, it's going to cost you £1,500, they can go, no, I've just brought my rubbish to the back gate. It's not that big of a problem, yeah? Whereas you want to get to the root cause of their problems. John doesn't see his wife, he doesn't see his daughter, and he wants to get back control of his life. That's a problem he's willing to invest in, yeah? We need to understand the real pain points. Shut your mouth, open your ears. Don't just ask a few people. Don't ask your family. Spend a lot of time in the same place as your target market. The art of discovery is listening. If you said to your mum, if you've got a good relationship with your mum, Mum, I want to set up a company and I'm going to be selling hay barrels to farmers. And she'll go, that's such a great idea, darling. That's fantastic. Go and do it. Go on, you're the best at everything. Yeah. So then you could invest so much time and money and effort into setting this business up, and you go, Mum, it didn't work. She goes, oh, well, you tried. You can't be mad at your mum. She loves you, all right? So don't ask your family, okay? And if you do, make sure they're very critical. Make sure they're honest with you, because otherwise you're going to invest a lot of time into something that doesn't work. Ask a lot of people. If you've got access to Facebook, I haven't got 5,000 real friends, but I've got 5,000 friends on Facebook. I've done that for a reason, so I've got a demographic I can just approach and ask questions to straight away. There's people at your fingertips. Yeah, you can ask so many people, put out surveys, spend a lot of time in the same place as your market. If you want to set up a PT business, spend some time in the gym. Speak to clients. If you want to approach single mums who can't find time to go to the gym, it might be a bit weird, but go to mum groups or nurseries or something, I don't know. You go to somewhere where these people are, find a way in to speak to these people. You ask them the right questions, okay? So when you ask questions, you need to make sure they're real questions. Don't say to people, do you have a problem with putting out rubbish at night? They'll go, yeah. You can't do nothing of information. So when you approach people, if they're in a certain business, one question could be, what is the one thing that is really challenging you in your business today, which you could do without? That's an open question that really gets them thinking, right? And as part of that download, by the way, I put in it's like 42 leading questions you can ask when you're trying to find out answers to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so download that blueprint. It's an ebook with loads of questions, open-ended questions you can apply to pretty much anything. And you can go to social media groups for this. BuzzSumo, there's a video on that thing to show you how to use BuzzSumo. Online forums are a great place. People who invest in a paid online forum generally care, so you can ask them questions and they'll tell you the answers because they've invested in that, so they will want value from that. Yeah. Free forums are still good, but don't just go in and go, by the way, I'm setting up a business, I want you to tell me, what's your most biggest challenge? People go, oh, shut up, mate. If you go in there and you start adding some value and you start reading comments, okay, getting feedback of comments on social media, telling people answers to their questions on social media. One thing I've done, I saw people posting a lot of questions. I then took note of their names, added them as a friend, wrote a blog post answering that question, tagged them in the post, and then they read it. From there, I've added a ton of value. They then share that with their friends, and all of a sudden, I've got a small following within the group. I'm now an industry leader, so to speak. I'm an authority. Yeah. So then, if I keep adding more and more value, one, I'm understanding who these people are, what their problems are. Two, when I then say to them, by the way, I'm thinking of setting up this program, I want a bit of feedback, what challenges are you facing? They can be more open to tell me. Secondly, if I've added real value and I say I'm thinking of setting up a program, they go, what's the program about? You've got potential customers straight away. Right? It's all about building that relationship. Friends, family, be careful. Be very careful with that one. I wouldn't recommend that at first port of call. Work colleagues are great because they moan a lot and you can listen to what they're moaning about. Yeah? Work colleagues moan, they love to moan. Yeah? But don't talk to the person who moans about everything. There's one person in your office that literally moans about everything. Don't talk to them because they will tell you all their problems. You don't want that, you'll be there forever. Email and phone, believe it or not, we're in a digital world, but speaking to people face to face or over the phone is still very effective. Yeah, communication. Yeah, let's communicate with people on their level. And ask the right questions, I've already covered that. So we've now established, okay, we've got an idea. We've established who else is in that market and how can we better them. We've established who our customer is and what their pain points are, what problems they're having. Now, we need to build services for our customers. We're already about 10 minutes over, I hope I'm mind. Yeah, is that right? We're going to be building products and services for our customers, yeah? From here, you're solving their problems, not selling what you want. This is the number one thing. People always come to me and say, Sam, I've got a great idea. I want to sell, I don't know, beach balls with my face on it. I've already said it. And I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I don't think people are going to really like that. They go, no, listen. And they'll tell me all the ideas of why I think it's so good. But at no point have they ever asked someone, would you want to buy this? Or is this going to solve a problem for you, right? So we're solving problems, we're not selling what you want to sell. We've discovered the pain point, decide what the resolution to that pain point will be. So for John, my avatar, he wants to spend more time with his family. He wants to do that by setting up his own business, but he hasn't got a lot of time, he's got a lot of money, he listens to podcasts, he wants to invest in mentors. So I'm going to provide services as a mentor or a consultant. I'm also going to give him a podcast he can listen to on his way to work, on his 2 hours commuting a day, and I'm also going to put out books, blogs and everything else he can immerse himself in. Yeah? Think outside the box. Use the research from Don't Just Compete, Dominate, that slide we just had up, yeah? Use that, it's powerful research. See what the influencers are doing that works, okay? See if this is the type of thing that can benefit your avatar. So if you've got influencers, authorities in your industry, look at what they're offering. Look at if people are buying it, if they're engaging with it, okay? If it's helping them. If it is, you know, they've done a lot of research, use that. They've probably invested a lot of money to get the answers to that question. So use that research, yeah? But don't just, you've got to be careful because there are some gurus out there that will say, I've sold 20 million books and I've done this, and really they're flat out broke and just trying to get a bit of quick cash off someone. So you've got to do a bit of digging to find out. But if you really find influencers that are doing well and they're making a lot of money and helping a lot of people, you know their services are good, right? Now get creative. And better any other products out there that will serve the needs of your avatar. Don't just think, okay, they've set this up, I'm now going to do this. Spend some time. You know, we talked about the idea where you literally just go into a room, shut the door, everything's turned off, and just dump on the floor. Yeah, just not dump on the floor, that sounds terrible. You dump all your ideas onto a sheet of paper or whiteboard or something. Yeah, same applies here. When you go through your idea for your service or something, just let everything go. Yeah, try and discover, or try and spend some time with yourself to discover what the answer to that will be. General rules: keep it simple, easy to understand, easy to use. Ensure it delivers extraordinary amounts of value, okay? It delivers on its promise, it's ethical, legal and moral. Yeah? We're not drug dealers, yeah? We're people. So we sell stuff that's ethical, legal and moral. Delivers on its promise. If I said to you, I want to give you 6 steps to setting up a business, and then I showed you slides of cartoons of Fred Flintstone, you'd be like, he's lying, you'd never trust me again, yeah? Where I'm just giving you a formula to discover who your market is and how you can create products for them. It's a value. I've delivered on my promise, right? Extraordinary value, okay? If you think something's worth a tenner, or if you're selling something for a tenner, give value of $1 million. Literally give above and beyond with value, yeah? You can never help someone enough. A lot of free content out there is better than paid content. I give a lot of free content, and it's probably better than some of my paid content. Like my 10-step business foundation, it's a free course. You're going to get a link to it, it's not going to cost you anything. And at the end of it, I'm even going to offer you a free phone call for me if you want it. It's free. If you don't want to pay for my service, cool. At least I've helped you in the process. Yeah? How to work on your business and not in it. No man is an island. When you go into business, and you're setting up a business for yourself, perfect, I've done it quite well. When you set up for a business for yourself...
All right, don't rub it in.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So when you set up a business for yourself, your aim is not to work in that business. Yeah, so let's go back to... say you want to be a personal trainer. You want to set up your own personal training studio. You know there's a lot of jobs involved in running that operation. Say you then want to take that business from being a face-to-face customer and you want to start selling online programs. There's now another element to that business you need to manage. Say you want to keep the place clean, but you want to do your programming. You've got so many jobs that need doing. So whenever you go into a business, outline to yourself what is involved with running that business. And think of everything. Go back to the brain dump. What's involved with running this business? Everything you've got, write it down. Assign tasks or job roles to each job. Yeah? It sounds so simple, people don't do this. And I didn't do this at the start, which is why I was like in hell for 18 months, right? Then, when you've assigned your tasks and your jobs, assign a value to that task and role. How much would it cost me to employ someone to do that? Yeah? Then, you can look at the revenue that's coming in. If you're at 0, you've then got to go, how long will it take me, according to my business plan, to get from 0 to this point so I can start employing people to take over these services? Yeah? When you're in the growth, in the early stages of growth of your business, you don't want to pocket all your money. Okay? Your aim isn't to stash all your cash and go and have a good time. Your aim is to bring money in, enough to cover what you need to cover, and then some. And when you're at the point of then some, you can start bringing in services and invest back in your business. Okay, you always invest back in your business all the time. You invest in people, you invest in services, you invest in software, you invest in anything that's going to buy you time. Yeah? Money comes. Money comes easily if you know how to get it. Time doesn't. Time is a commodity you can't get back. So if you find that you're running around programming, you're running around trying to email all your clients, you're running around trying to clean your gym, you're running around trying to get from this house to this house, your business model's screwed. Because you're spending more time doing stuff that isn't contributing to the growth of your business. You're doing the cleaner's job. Nothing wrong with being a cleaner. Cleaners are they're a vital part of any operation. Okay? They maintain, they keep the standards high. But if you want to be a business owner, you need to value your time higher than £7.50 an hour. Yeah? Okay. I read a forum, an interesting forum on Facebook. It's a CrossFit Owners Forum. And someone put out a post saying, what floor cleaner do you use? What device do you use for your floor cleaner? And people are putting up posts saying, this mop works really well. I've got this motorised thing that does this and I can just stand behind it and it cleans my gym floor for me. Really good, it's only 1,500 quid on eBay, go and buy it. And there's about 50 people that commented on this post saying how they use this cleaner and the solutions they use and everything. And it was like I was reading a cleaner's forum. Yeah, that could have easily been a cleaner's forum. I put in a comment, because I couldn't read it any longer, I was kind of going out of my mind, saying, if you're business owners, why are you concerned about how the floor's getting cleaned? Why are you not employing someone to do that job for you? Their response was, I can't afford it. Now that tells me their business model's screwed, because they can't afford £300 a month to employ a cleaner 5 days a week. Yeah? The second I adopted this mindset, my business went from 50 members and struggling, my first business, to 160 members, 6 figures, well into the 6 figures a year income, not for myself personally, but for that business. I earn a nice income off the back of it, but off the side of it, I've leveraged that business. I've set up an events company, I've set up a consultancy company, I've got an online blog, podcast, I'm doing High Performance One with Greg. I'm now looking to set up another gym within the next 3 months in Maidstone. Because I've got my time back through investing, so I've not earned a huge amount of money the past few years, but I got to a point where actually things are automated and now I'm earning. Does that make sense? I went for a few years of literally losing my house and everything and going through the grind to now I've picked up and now I'm sort of slowly moving back up again. I'm back up here. It took 5 years to do that, but if you work on your business and not in your business, you can do exactly the same. For you it might be quicker, I tripped up a lot on the way, but by following principles we teach, hopefully we can get you there quicker. Does that make sense? Yeah? So remember, you don't want to work on your business, you want to work in it. We're not cleaners, we are business owners, we are operators, and we look at the growth of the business. Yeah? Like I said, that link there, take a picture of that if you need to. Okay, you're going to get an email for it. 10-step business foundation course, everything I've covered is in that. It is free, completely free. Get in that, enjoy it, use it. People say, there's a lot of research done that people don't value something that's free. Okay, I can tell you if I put a price tag of £250 or £1,000 on that and you bought it, you'd use it, and the content would be exactly the same. Yeah, it's there to be used, so please use it. And then upcoming courses and seminars. This is just the start. Me and Greg are going to be doing a lot more of this. We want to be helping a lot of people. Okay, our aim isn't to make money. Okay, our aim is to help people and serve people and help them set up their life. Okay, of money and time freedom. That is the ultimate goal. In return, we will probably get a nice income off the back of it, I'd imagine. But our main driver is to help people. Yeah. So, if you are interested in other seminars and courses we've got coming up, keep an eye on High Performance One. We'll stay in your inbox as well. We'll keep emailing you and stuff like that. And 12 o'clock. That is it. Woo! There he is. We've got this room till 12:30. We can hang around, grab a coffee. Me and G are going to be here. So if you want to speak to us or anything after, we're here. If not, G, do you want to finish up?
Just want to say it's been a plum pleasing pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it. Thank
I think it was absolutely brilliant.
And I think it's information that we can practically apply to our lives and to improve our well-being. And it was indeed a great joy and opportunity to be here and to experience that. I would say it's life-changing, the things we can work on to be better people.
Right, so we've just sat in, my mum and I, on the 360 learning course, and I would absolutely recommend it for anyone that maybe has any issues of their life they think can be better. And if you want to be inspired, again, through any part of your life, if you're not happy and you feel like you're just existing in life, this can help you in any way, shape or form. I think for any kind of person, doesn't matter what kind of background you've had, come and do it, because it can be the start of a change for your life, for the better. So it's really good.
I used to have a business, and as Greg and Sam have said, you should not be working in your business, you should be working on your business. That I've really that's opened up my eyes to the fact that that's where my business collapsed, because I was actually working in the business because I couldn't get staff, and so I've learnt a lot from this seminar. I'm good, and I think there should be more people. Well, hopefully Sam and Greg will launch out to reach more people that are looking to set up their business, and that they will be successful. And so I might have a second thought in restarting my business again.